thought it was a simple experiment until things took an unsettling turn. Because once the man starts to train with the metal ring, everything seemed fine at first. But then, a few seconds in, he realized that he was unable to stop the ring from moving. And to make things worse, he started to uncontrollably pick up speed, and the ring's movements became more uncertain. And now, what was once a harmless stunt quickly turned into the man's worst nightmare.
This is a Titanic simulator that lets people experience what it was like as the Titanic was sinking, and it's much steeper than you think. It starts off with a slight slope, but gradually gets steeper and steeper, emulating what it was like as the ship sank headfirst. They all sighed down as it's impossible to hold on at peak slant. Unless you're this kid, would you make it to the end? This is why this mascot makes over $600,000 a year, as he is the only one that does it right. This is why you should never underestimate your opponent, because when this lightweight went up against someone double his size, it didn't go as planned, as in the beginning he was being overpowered, but he kept his composure and waited for the perfect moment to strike. And as he gets a hold of his opponent's leg, he taps out instantly. And just like that, the match was over against a bigger opponent. This just makes sense, as this guy was squatting, a gym bro decided to spot him, and one after another, the line kept growing as people joined in. Do you know how many ended up joining the line?
This golden ring puzzle is an old spatial riddle passed down for generations, and only quick thinkers can solve it in seconds. At first, many people just pull the ring hard, but the rope tightens into a knot and the ring won't come out. Some even think of cutting the rope, but that ruins the whole point. The real trick is to change perspective. Hold the wooden stick steady with your left hand, flip the golden ring backward with your right hand, then carefully guide it through the middle of the rope. Finally, lift it gently upward, and the golden ring comes free, simple, clever, and satisfying.
Why does this man keep an extra golf ball hidden near his ankle? He simply pretends to look for his ball, and while he touches the grass, waiting for everyone to stop looking, he can drop the ball very quickly, allowing him to continue playing without taking a penalty.
Did you know one of Spider-Man's most iconic moments was a last-minute decision? When Peter quits being Spider-Man in Spider-Man 2, that raindrops keep falling on my head montage wasn't originally planned. Sam Raimi added it late because he wanted humor, a little relief after all the pain. And somehow, that light, goofy moment became one of the most unforgettable scenes in the movie. Proof that sometimes the best ideas show up at the very last second.
This might be the easiest job at the Winter Olympics. Before every event and before the cameras start rolling, workers walk around the venue stamping the Olympic rings into the snow. They make about $40 an hour and get to watch the games for free.
He weighed 832 pounds, which made it hard for him to move, get out of bed, and even take a shower. This is Casey King, and he decided to change his life forever, as he was tired of people staring and making fun of him for his appearance. And after 4 years of relentless training, he lost nearly 600 pounds, showing that anything is possible. And he says the loose skin reminds him of the person he never wants to be.
Is the only man in NBA history allowed to touch Chris Paul's head. Whenever a player touches Chris Paul's head, they immediately regret it because the moment it happens, he crashes out and warns them to never do it again. He once even told his own coach not to touch his head. And when Chris Paul was asked in an interview who was allowed to touch his head, he said no one. But that was a lie because there was only one man in NBA history who could touch Chris Paul's head. That man was Kobe Bryant.
Did you know Brad Pitt isn't just an Oscar winner? He makes them? Brad Pitt is also a powerhouse producer through his company, Plan B Entertainment. They've backed films like 12 Years a Slave, The Departed, and Moonlight, all Oscar winners. No spotlight chasing, just great stories told right. That's influence. Did you know Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson almost never became a wrestler? Before WWE and Hollywood stardom, he dreamed of football. He played college ball at the University of Miami and even hoped for the NFL, but injuries and being cut ended that path. Sometimes failure doesn't stop a dream. It redirects it. Follow for more turning points.
This may look like a regular stadium where these people are sitting in the crowd watching the game, but this is actually an illusion because there is a giant screen that covers the entire wall. Seeming like you are there, this is a genius idea that saves people money and provides a unique experience. But would you go here? This boxer had to cower behind his corner after he forgot what sport he was playing, and he ended up getting banned for life.
Did you know one of Spider-Man's coolest moments used zero CGI? That famous cafeteria scene where Peter catches the tray, food, and drinks mid-air? No visual effects, no tricks. Tobey Maguire actually did it for real. It took 156 takes, but he nailed it. Real reflexes, real patience. Talk about commitment. Follow for more real movie stunts.
These guys created a real-life money glitch by simply spray painting a mannequin gold and placing it on a public road, making it seem like it was a human statue. Some people walking by were confused, and others thought this was actually a person, so they gave them money for their street performance. And in an hour, they made $43 while doing nothing. Do you think this is a good idea?
Ini kesel setiap hari jalan depan rumahnya jadi lintasan balap. Jadi dia pakai cara jenius buat bikin mereka jerak. Dengan modal cat semprot, dia bikin lukisan polisi tidur 3D di jalan. Dan siapa sangka cara itu berhasil. Kini semua kendaraan yang lewat langsung refleks mengerem. Bahkan semua orang kompak nge-like.
These Taekwondo students challenged their sensei to see if he could kick all 3 water bottles in a row. The result is exactly what you expect, as he humbles them. This is why you never challenge the master. Would you be able to kick all 3 bottles?
You have probably seen the video where the guy actually lifts off the seat because of the extreme speed. But when these guys try it out for themselves, they probably don't expect what is about to happen next. Watch his head hit the roof.
This guy won't let anyone else have a turn. He just wants to swing all by himself. And when he finally allows someone to use the swing, the moment they arrive, he wants it back immediately. No chance for anyone else. So, just before he tries to swing again.
This man doesn't lift a finger when he wakes up because everything in his house works for him. As soon as he gets out of bed, a special device dresses him. Even his dog takes part. It presses a red button and launches jam onto his bread. That's how the man starts his day without doing a single thing.
This kid is living the dream as he has the coolest living room. His parents installed his own Ninja Warrior course, where everything from the ceiling to the wall have obstacles. His dream is to be a Ninja Warrior champion, so he trains every day to be the best. Would you want this in your living room?
This little lady became famous off one kick because when she was walking to the penalty spot, everyone's eyes were on her, expecting her to miss the shot. She fixes the ball, walks a few steps back, and gets completely focused up. Even the keeper knows she'll miss. But then just when it's her time to shoot, she does this.
Monk is going viral again, but not for her makeup, because after Natalie kept copying Brooke videos, she finally decided to make a TikTok trend on her drafts, and what she does at the end will shock you.
I said a boom, chicka boom.
I said a boom, chicka boom.
I said a boom, chicka rocket, chicka boom.
Say I make you nervous, a tragedy. I'm a beautiful disaster, a reckoning.
Did you know that ridiculous Hugh Jackman cutout wasn't random? In Deadpool, when Deadpool wears a taped-on face of Hugh Jackman, that cutout actually came from a real Wolverine magazine photo shoot years earlier. And yes, Ryan Reynolds hand-carried it himself. A perfect inside joke in their legendary fake feud. Only Deadpool could turn a magazine photo into cinematic trolling. Follow for more inside joke Easter eggs.
This player almost died on court. After dunking, he let go of the rim and slammed into the floor badly. But instead of checking on him, the other players just kept playing like nothing happened. Even his own teammates didn't bother to help him. The same thing happened when Jalen Clark hit his head hard. And still, not a single teammate checked on him. But there's only one man in the NBA who actually cares about every player on the court. When Nikola Jokic got injured, the only person who ran over to check on him was Steph Curry.
When tourists give these innocent African tribes ice in bottles, their reaction is amazing because they are seeing snow for the very first time in their lives. They don't understand what it is and immediately start sucking on it, but the soda bottles surprise them even more because the tribes have no idea how to even open them. So they finally tear the bottles apart with their strong teeth. Only those who understood should click like. Because of this bug, this man becomes a millionaire. In fact, while this man is painting a picture, a bug suddenly flies in from somewhere, lands on the picture, and begins to walk around on it. As a joke, the man keeps moving his pen behind the bug. The bug walks over the picture so much that no empty space is left, and it looks beautiful. Then a rich man buys it for $1 million. Only those who understood should click like.
Tornado started to form during a soccer game, but the players didn't seem to be bothered, as they just stood around. These are known as dust devils, caused when the ground is unevenly heated, creating a pocket of hot air that rapidly rises, making a vortex. These are very common in Mexico, and for the most part are fairly harmless. Would you have run away?
You either make it on your first try, or you never will. Welcome to the most challenging game in the arcade. Your mission: Propel the bowling ball over the first hill without it rolling back. But there's a catch. You mustn't touch the button at the end of the second ramp, even if the ball lands perfectly in the target zone.
These friends have no fear as they perform the most insane stunts you will ever see, proving why women live longer than men. Some of the crazy stunts they have done are being used as a human cannon, which just looks terrifying. Sliding down from a platform stories high, putting faith on a single rope, and using themselves as a slingshot, making sure they don't miss. What stunt was your favorite?
Watch how this little lady shuts her boyfriend up. Because he didn't think she could throw a football at the start of the video. But he had no idea she used to play professionally at the highest level in the United States. So she decided to film and told her friend to go long. Wait till you see his reaction.
Many people use hydro dipping to make prints on all kinds of objects. But if you dip something in, can it really coat every side? Yes, because the moment the object touches the film, water pressure pushes the pattern over every curve. It stretches and flows around the shape like magic. But it's not as easy as it looks. To get a clean transfer, you have to roll it just right. Too fast, too slow, wrong angle, everything can fall apart.
This basketball player is about to be scared so hard he switched sides for a second.
Away up, I feel blessed. Oh my.
Have you seen this before? This guy makes incredible toys out of bamboo. He has created a bow that shoots 3 arrows at a time. But the coolest toy he has made so far has to be the sniper rifle that uses the flexibility of the bamboo as a slingshot to shoot bamboo bullets. And this is what it can do. This guy is purposely making himself unattractive. As for the past 100 days, he's been trying to make his face asymmetrical. On day 1, he looked completely normal, but to achieve the look he wanted, he started doing weird things to one side of his face, pulling on his skin to cause sagging and create wrinkles, even hitting his face with a hammer to change its shape. And after 100 days, this is what he looked like.
Gadis ini sering dibully di sekolahnya, tapi dia mau buktiin kalau dia bisa menjadi apapun yang dia inginkan. Karena yang terjadi selanjutnya benar-benar di luar dugaan. Tapi, sebelum saya tunjukkan, like dan subscribe video ini jika kamu percaya dengan Tuhan. Dan jika kamu enggak like dan subscribe, mungkin kamu anggap Tuhan itu tidak nyata. Dan beginilah hasilnya, dia berubah menjadi ikan.
This is a genius way for police officers to train for hostage situations, as this simulator creates an interactive scenario where you must save a person from an armed criminal without unloading on the hostage. This training allows officers to find the right moment to strike and eliminate the threat, but if you miss or get shot, you'll receive an electric shock. But would you try this?
Why did this hairstylist go viral out of nowhere? You may think it's because her clients look amazing afterwards, or because of her beard fades, but those answers would be wrong. Because when Ivana wanted to promote her barbershop, she decided to film herself working, cutting hair non-stop for her clients. But then over time, more and more people started tuning in to her videos, not because of the haircuts, but because of how beautiful her outfits look.
Did you know Natalie Portman didn't join Thor just for Marvel? Natalie Portman said she signed on because she admired the director, Kenneth Branagh. She once said, "He makes superhero movies feel human." That emotional touch is exactly what sold her, and that's how Jane Foster was born in the MCU. Sometimes it's not the franchise, it's the filmmaker.
Have you ever seen a wind turbine on a balcony? This one was created by Dutch designers and is called the Archimedes. Its spiral shape captures wind from all directions, even when the breeze is light. Here's the surprising part. It can produce up to 1,500 kilowatt hours per year, and it operates almost silently, so quiet your neighbors won't even notice it.
If someone ever ties you up, you don't need to panic. This is the coolest trick that can save your life. First, carefully pull the tied rope towards you and gently thread it through the part wrapped around your wrists. Then, push your hand slowly through the middle of the bound rope as shown in the video. Only those who understood should click like.
Videos of this little girl ranting online are going viral, but for what reason? When she first appeared on social media dancing with her friend in her beauty, these two girls became popular for something no one expected. Because at first, they were only attempting the viral TikTok dance. But then this girl pulled a move so crazy. Everyone kept rewatching the dance over and over again. Take a look.
This guy made the biggest mistake. As he fell asleep in front of a crowd of dedicated football fans, a cup was placed on top of his smooth head to play a game. One by one, people took turns pouring a little beer into the cup to see who could get it closest to the top without spilling. But even after a handful of people get the cup more than halfway full, the cup seems to be extremely stable with no trouble. But when this guy took a turn, everything seemed to be fine until this happened, ending the game.
Did you know Tony Stark's Malibu mansion was never real? That iconic cliffside home from Iron Man looks insanely real, but it's actually 100% CGI. The exterior was digitally created and placed over a California coastline. No address, no tours, just pure movie magic. And yet, it became one of the most iconic homes in cinema history. Follow for more Iron Man production secrets.
This train station floods every day with hundreds of gallons of water, and as the water rushes down, the people recording aren't running away, as this is part of an attraction at Universal Studios, making you feel like you're in a movie.
Cewek ini punya bakat luar biasa. Dia sedang nyelesain ujian terakhir untuk mendapatkan sertifikat pemadam kebakaran. Tapi, tantangannya sangat sulit. Jika alatnya nggak siap dalam 25 detik, dia langsung gagal dan harus mengulang trainingnya dari awal. Dan saat waktu tersisa 10 detik, dia sudah memasang 2 selang dan langsung berlari menuju rumah yang terbakar. Tapi, meskipun dia akhirnya lulus ujian, anehnya, dia hanya mendapat 200 likes.
These guys just performed an impossible reverse video without reversing. Even the guy in the back putting on Crocs was on point. After years of fighting, their bodies are about to be put to the test, as they must take as many punches to the abs as possible without quitting. The second guy seems to take the strikes well, but the instructor isn't holding back, eliminating him with 3 strikes. Although the last guy just witnessed this, he was extremely confident he could easily take them, which he proves by not even reacting. The instructor even had to switch to kicking, which did not work. Could you take one of these punches? There are only 2 ways you can score on this goalkeeper robot. It's extremely difficult, as there are sensors reading your every move, predicting exactly where you'll kick, so your shot has to be faster than its reaction time. The easiest method to score is aiming for the top corners where it can't reach. Could you score on this robot?
Did you know Charlize Theron's first language isn't English at all? She actually grew up speaking Afrikaans in South Africa. She learned English only after moving to the US. And even today, she still speaks Afrikaans with her family. Hollywood star, global roots. Follow for more international Charlize stories. Did you know Iron Man was created as a challenge? Iron Man first appeared in Tales of Suspense 39 in 1963. He was brought to life by Stan Lee, Larry Lieber, Don Heck, and Jack Kirby. Stan once said he purposely made Tony Stark a selfish weapons-making billionaire just to see if fans could still love him. Turns out, they absolutely did.
This firefighter demonstrates the perfect way to carry an unconscious person during an emergency. You can't just roll a person on the ground or drag them by their hair. And dragging them might seem like the right approach, but it's actually wrong because this way you can't see where you're going. So instead, you should do this.
Their mission is to get everyone soaked. At Niagara Falls, they offer wild boat rides, where the captain steers like crazy, drifting and crashing into the waves. The bigger the wave, the better, because they promise no one makes it out without getting splashed and completely wet. Would you take a ride?
This little lady's third throw impressed everyone. Her first throw looked average. No one seemed to care. Then for her second one, she told her brother to go farther. This is when people started to realize her power. But just when it's her third and final throw, she told her friend to sprint across the whole field. And she even threw farther than most NFL players. Just look.
Ashley Graham shattered all beauty standards in the fashion world. At the start of her career, she was told she could never be a model because the only rule was being size 0. Although Ashley hit this striking wall, instead of accepting limits, she brought fashion giants to their knees. She became a cover star, inspired millions, and those who excluded her finally produced a custom Barbie in her name.
This place has molds of NFL players' legs, and they are much bigger than you think, as when this guy stepped into the frame, he could barely fit the space, showing their true size. Would your legs fill the molds?
Did you know one of Hollywood's biggest love stories started on set? In Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Brad Pitt met Angelina Jolie. Their on-screen chemistry? Electric, dangerous, impossible to ignore. What began as co-stars turned into one of the most talked-about relationships in Hollywood history. Sometimes the script isn't the only thing sparking. Follow for more iconic Hollywood moments.
This athlete destroyed the myth that bodybuilders can't fight, because despite his massive frame, he's able to pull off some insane martial arts moves with ease. What's even more impressive is his flexibility, as most people aren't able to achieve his level. Due to his insane physique and skills, people have been commenting that he's straight out of a Street Fighter video game, but do you think he can actually fight?
Wanita ini melakukan tari tiang di depan orang tua dan pacarnya. Tapi lucunya, keluarganya bersikap seolah semuanya normal saja. Beberapa dari mereka bahkan nyaris tidak menoleh dan beraktivitas seperti biasa. Namun, sikap acuh itu tak mengurangi betapa memukaunya gerakan wanita ini. Tubuhnya berputar dan menyatu sempurna dengan tiang. Terlihat kuat tapi tetap elegan. Dan ketika dia bosan dengan tiangnya, dia melanjutkan pertunjukannya dengan seutas tali.
This is a crazy little magic tool called the magic sword. The blade moves so fast that you can't even see it. To prove this, just look closely at this toothpick. It looks like the blade is going right through it, but in reality, the blade just snaps back in the other direction at lightning speed. And if I put my thumb here now, you can see that it gets stuck. Only those who understood should click like.
YouTubers who recorded their final moments. They were working on the roof when the new guy walked backwards and right off the edge. He was climbing a tree deep in the jungle and was suddenly swarmed by a group of bees. And after being stung dozens of times, he passed out and fell 68 feet. He was trying to catch a fish with a small minnow, but had no idea he would lose his hand.
This is why you never ignore someone's advice. Because when this boy wasn't sure how to defeat his opponent, his friend told him to perform this takedown, and it ended up working flawlessly. This arcade machine turned self-aware for a moment.
Only one rider.
Only one rider?
Is there only one rider? Only one rider.
Did you know fame never changed what matters most to Sydney Sweeney? Despite Hollywood's success, Sydney Sweeney says family always comes first. She still visits her hometown in Idaho, and her biggest dream isn't a mansion or awards. It's buying her parents their dream home. Success hits different when you don't forget where you came from. Follow for more heartfelt Sydney stories.
This little girl pulled off a last-second dance move that made her famous. Because as she was just dancing like normal at the beginning of the video, she was not trying to get any attention or views at all. But then just at the last second of the TikTok, she pulled off this insane move that made her go viral. Just look.
Did you know Storm's lightning wasn't all CGI? In X-Men, the lightning effects for Storm weren't fully digital. Some bolts were actually hand-drawn frame by VFX artists. Old-school animation, mixed with modern tech. That's why it feels so raw and powerful on screen. Follow for more filmmaking secrets.
People were worried for this reporter, because after asking Olympic wrestler Kennedy Blades to suplex her on live TV, people got angry, saying she took it way too far. But don't worry, as she's okay.
This wine is exactly 100 years old and is being opened for the first time, but its condition suggests it may be far older. The bottle is covered in thick, hardened layers that resemble ancient mud. As each fragile, paper-like layer is carefully removed, something unexpected appears. Beneath the final layer are real leaves, hinting that the wine could date back to ancient times. When the last leaf is peeled away, the long-hidden wine is finally revealed. Would you dare to taste it?
Kid at Legoland was learning to drive a Lego car to get his license, but clearly he shouldn't be on Lego roads. He drove up to an employee, suddenly swerved like he was about to hit him, then lowered his head and tried to sneak away as if nothing had happened.
In China finden Unternehmer einen sehr cleveren Weg, gefallenes Laub in ein echtes Geschäft zu verwandeln. Die Menschen sammeln gefallenes Laub, schütten es in diese moderne Maschine und sie presst es zu festen Heizpellets. Diese Pellets werden im Winter zum Heizen von Häusern verwendet, hergestellt aus Abfall, der nichts kostet. Niedrige Materialkosten, ein einfacher Prozess und eine starke saisonale Nachfrage machen dies zu einem cleveren Ökogeschäft. Würdest du dafür ein Like geben?
Ketika cewek ini lagi makan, seorang anak kecil terus menatap ke arahnya. Karena nggak tega, dia membagi sedikit snack ke bocah itu. Bocah itu menerimanya, menggigit sedikit, lalu pergi begitu saja. Tapi kemudian, anak itu balik lagi membawa keripik kentang dan meletakkannya di dekat si cewek. Belum habis rasa kagetnya, anak itu datang lagi membawa snack lain dan kembali lagi dengan lemon raksasa di tangannya. Momen ini bikin si cewek sampai kehilangan kata-kata dan semua orang memberi mereka like.
They are going through intense kickboxing training, which is essential to prepare them for being kicked and build pain tolerance, as during matches they will be struck a lot, and no matter the age they have to get kicked at least once, some even go back for seconds, and the coach does not hold back. But do you think this training is too much?
Kali ini ibunya berulang tahun. Jadi dia menyiapkan kejutan spesial untuknya. Satu kue yang tampilannya cantik banget. Meski harganya enggak murah, tapi buat orang tersayang semua terasa sepadan. Nggak lupa dia nambah minuman dingin dan camilan biar pestanya makin seru. Begitu sampai rumah, wajah ibunya langsung berubah cerah. Tapi sebelum pesta dimulai, meja dan kursi disusun rapi. Kue diletakkan di tengah dan camilan di sampingnya. Dan jika kamu mau ikut pesta kecil ini, kasih like.
This little lady went viral for an unexpected reason, because these two adults were doing the famous TikTok dance while in cowboy outfits. But then this one pulled off a move so insane. Everyone's eyes were shifted onto her, and she even went viral because of it. Just look.
Notice how some people love the smell of gasoline? Like, way too much. For a lot of people, it's weirdly satisfying, and yeah, some even get hooked on it. But there's a dark reason it smells so good. Gasoline releases a chemical called benzene, and while your brain reacts like, this smells amazing, your body is taking a hit. That stuff is highly toxic, and if you keep breathing it in over time, that obsession can turn into something seriously dangerous. But somehow, you still didn't subscribe.
Craziest thing happened as they decided to base jump through a cloud, because most people are too scared of the pain jumping through one, but these guys had different plans.
Go. Sing we now, sing for the year, sing for the land, sing volunteer, sing we now, just for today, maybe tomorrow, good Lord will take it away, sing we now, sing for the year, sing.
And remember, please don't try this at home. This is what an average guy looks like next to a bodybuilder, as these guys decide to compare their bodies next to each other, and the size difference is insane. But things get even crazier after the bodybuilder tells him to compare his entire chest, and his reaction says it all. To hit a bottle on top of their parents' head to prove their skills and trust. Some of the players don't even come close to hitting the bottle, and others graze or hit close to the bottle but don't succeed, and the father that had no trust in his son proved him wrong.
Challenge that. I don't trust him one bit. Come on, man.
This is the coolest mom in the world as she decides to participate in her son's football practice. She not only embarrasses her son by faking him out, but does the greatest celebration. Do you think she is the coolest mother?
Why is this hairstylist suddenly going viral online? Most people think it's because of her clean fades, or how good her clients look afterwards. But the actual reason is something you'll never expect. He always wears.
Could you beat this game? It is simple. The objective is to hit a nail into a piece of wood within 3 strikes, and you win a prize. But you would be surprised by how many people can't hit the nail. As people keep failing, a man shows up to show off his skills putting in the nail with 2 swings. But no one has been able to get it in within 1 strike other than the host. Could you get it in within 1 swing?
Specific reason this professional chose this sand mound in the desert. In just moments, it will turn into a landing zone. One small mistake and everything goes wrong. This girl sees something shiny under the ground and starts screaming to call her father. He thinks it's nonsense and tells her to just leave it, but she doesn't listen to him and starts digging in the dirt all by herself. Then he decides to help her and manages to pull the stone out. When they look at it closely, they realize it is a crystal worth a lot of money.
This man decided to cut down a tree in his backyard and make something he really needed out of it. But after this video appeared on the internet, people hated him, and you'll soon understand why. Initially, he cut off the necessary piece from the felled tree and trimmed off all the excess to make a bench. But people hate him because he cut down a mature, healthy tree for such a useless and ugly thing. Like this, if you agree with the commenters.
This is what the UFC used to be like, as different martial arts would clash to see who was better, and this fight ended in seconds.
Brandon's a very good grappler here.
Oh my, elbows in number by Goodridge, and that is it.
This soccer coach saw his student was having trouble kicking the ball in the right direction, so he grabbed her foot and showed her exactly where to kick for better accuracy, and it worked perfectly.
As she steps up for her turn on the massive zip line, she looks terrified as her instructor locks her in. She grips the harness tightly as it's given one last safety check. But just before she goes, another instructor helps the two riders before her get back to the top. And when it's finally her turn to fly, this happens.
I'm sorry.
Chinesen lassen nicht einmal Kerzen in Ruhe, denn diese Art von Kerze, die in China hergestellt wird, wird jetzt in Dubai verwendet. Selbst wenn deine Kinder aus Versehen die brennende Kerze umkippen, bleibt sie sicher und fängt kein Feuer. Bei normalen Kerzen geht das Feuer nicht aus. Aber bei dieser Kerze erlischt die Flamme sofort, wenn sie fällt, wegen der kleinen Stücke des harten Wachses.
You should never forget that your coach is the one who taught you everything you know, so they know your every move, as this coach is about to teach his fighter a valuable lesson, as all it took was one strike. Most people underestimate how fast NASCAR drivers are going.
Did you know the most serious training led to the funniest moment? To play Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, Dave Bautista spent hours training and mastering intense fight choreography. He built the body, he learned the moves, he did the work. But the moment fans loved most, when Drax stood completely still and said, "I've mastered the ability of standing so still." All that preparation for the perfect deadpan joke. Follow for more Drax facts.
This is why you should never underestimate your opponent, because when this lightweight went up against someone double his size, it didn't go as planned, as in the beginning he was being overpowered, but he kept his composure and waited for the perfect moment to strike. And as he gets a hold of his opponent's leg, he taps out instantly. And just like that, the match was over against a bigger opponent.
This girl went viral for all the wrong reasons. Meet Veronica Miller, a 22-year-old track sprinter from Germany. But this is where it takes a crazy turn. She didn't become famous for her running, speed, or any medals, but she gained attention for something no one saw coming. At the start, Veronica just shared videos of her training, running, and even some gym sessions. She had no intention of becoming famous, but then a video went viral that got everyone talking about her looks.
Christian Bale is a total disappointment for tabloid journalism. The reason isn't scandals, but his striking modesty. He still drives a 2003 model car and chooses family over luxury parties. With no social media presence, he quietly disappears once filming ends. Instead of chasing fame, he stands out with his discipline and character. In an era where loyalty is fading, he has been married to the same person for 25 years, putting family above all.
Did you know the most famous celebration in football started by accident? That iconic "Siu" wasn't planned at all. Cristiano Ronaldo first shouted it spontaneously. During a match with Real Madrid, the crowd went crazy, and the moment stuck. Now it echoes across stadiums worldwide, and even rivals can't resist copying it. One shout, global legacy.
This cocky streamer challenges the best young fighter at this MMA gym and gets humbled instantly. After getting humiliated by the young boxer, he decided to take his training seriously, and this is what he looks like now. Do you think he has a chance in a rematch?
Did you know one Stan Lee cameo almost went way further? In Guardians of the Galaxy, Stan Lee appears as a Xandarian old man casually flirting. But here's the wild part. Director James Gunn originally wanted Stan to flip off the camera. Marvel instantly said, nope. Still, the toned-down version became a fan-favorite cameo, because honestly, Stan didn't need to do much. His presence was the Easter egg.
This guy is a military bully, and the job of this officer is to go around hitting and degrading these soldiers to help them become desensitized to pain by training their bodies to take serious blows and mentally strengthening them to have tougher skin as they are subject to torture without the ability to react. Would you go through this training?
Ouch! What is this? Did a twig get into my foot? Mommy!
Oh, girl! What have you done now? What's that on your foot?
Oh, it hurts so much.
Wait! It's okay. But if you go around like this, more things will sink. I'll make you a nice pair of slippers so you can wear them.
When my mom made me the slippers, please leave a like for this labor. And if you follow us, don't miss what we will do.
Slippers with special design from your mom are ready.
They are beautiful, Mom. Thank you.
Did you know Iron Man was never really about the suit? Tony Stark isn't just a hero, he's a message. That no matter how broken you are, no matter how deep you fall, you can rebuild yourself into something stronger. The armor was impressive, but Tony's heart, that was his greatest weapon. Follow for more timeless Iron Man stories. Did you know Hawkeye was almost forgettable in the MCU? In the early plans, he was just a side character. No big arc, no emotional weight. But then Jeremy Renner stepped in. He played Hawkeye not as a spectacle, but as a person. No powers, no armor, just heart, regret, loyalty. That grounded presence changed everything. Marvel rewrote the role, because sometimes it's not the power that matters, it's the presence.
This mischievous patient came up with the perfect prank to scare the nurse. While she was busy with her work, he quietly placed the top half of a skeleton on the bed. Not stopping there, he added the remaining leg and even dressed the skeleton in his own shirt. The nurse didn't glance back even once, until the moment he ducked under the bed, she turned around, locked eyes with the skeleton, and let out a terrified scream.
After losing her first Muay Thai match, she was unable to accept her defeat, so she decided to attack her opponent, pulling her hair and even kicking her. Unable to control her rage, officials and coaches had to step in to separate them. Luckily, the winner stayed calm and celebrated her victory. Do you think she should be banned? This guy is building an exoskeleton arm that is capable of lifting nearly 200 pounds. It is powered by an electric motor, strapped to the user's back. This is only a prototype and has to be manually engaged with a remote on the opposite hand. There is a lot of potential for this arm, as it can get even stronger and possibly help people with arm mobility problems. Would you give this a try?
While this bodybuilder's sled might seem heavier than this one, the truth is completely the opposite. The weight that guy in the green shirt is pushing is called digital resistance, and how it functions is quite interesting and confusing at the same time.
Ini akan menjadi tren paling viral selanjutnya, karena pria ini berhasil menciptakan desain kemasan es krim yang sangat brilian, yang membuat penjualan es krim di tokonya meningkat drastis. Dan bagian yang paling unik dari kemasan ini adalah cara membukanya. Tinggal tarik tutupnya ke atas, dan es krimnya langsung siap dinikmati. Praktis banget kan? Dan dalam waktu singkat, kemasan ini pun viral, dan orang-orang rela antri panjang hanya untuk es krim ini. Jangan pernah nge-charge HP seperti wanita ini jika kamu tidak sedang di Dubai, karena wanita ini dengan santainya nge-charge HP di mall, lalu pergi begitu saja.
A few moments later.
2 jam kemudian, ia kembali dan HP-nya masih ada di tempat yang sama. Keamanan di Dubai memang patut diacungi jempol, tapi kalau kamu tetap ngeyel mau nyoba ini di Indonesia, saya jamin HP kamu akan jadi pajangan di konter HP bekas.
This looks extremely fun, but what game is he playing that has him reacting like this?
Hey, come here. What's wrong with that? Hey! Stop playing, fool!
Leto took the concept of method acting to a striking dimension with the disturbing packages he sent to his co-stars. To embody the Joker, he used live rats and even more inappropriate gifts, creating a striking psychological pressure on the set crew. This showed how far the striking and dark bond between a star and their character could go.
Ini bikin pedagang itu gulung tikar karena bukannya beli, dia malah mecahin pot dagangan itu. Tapi ternyata ada uang di dalamnya. Dengan senyum lebar, dia ambil uang itu, bayar dagangan, dan pergi dengan untung besar. Tanpa pikir panjang, pedagang itu mulai mecahin satu persatu barang dagangannya. Tapi hasilnya nol besar dan wajahnya langsung pucat karena dia telah dikerjain sama pembelinya.
This guy has created a real-life Green Goblin hoverboard. You must stand while operating it as you use your feet and pivot, which controls where you are going. This hoverboard can reach up to 90 miles per hour and last around 10 minutes before needing to be refueled. Its maximum range is nearly 15 miles before you start skydiving. Would you buy one?
Normally, people throw away orange peels after eating them, but in Japan, people don't throw them away. Instead, they clean the orange peels very thoroughly. Then they cut them into thin pieces and boil them to remove the bitter taste. After being boiled, the peels are further cooked with sugar and water. Only those who understood should click like.
Did you know Mark Ruffalo faced a life-threatening battle just as his career was taking off? Mark Ruffalo was diagnosed with a brain tumor right when Hollywood was finally noticing him. Surgery saved his life, but it left half his face temporarily paralyzed. Imagine chasing your dream and suddenly fighting for your life instead. He didn't quit, he healed. He came back stronger. Did you know Denzel Washington never planned on becoming an actor? He studied journalism and politics, dreaming of a completely different future. No Hollywood plan, no spotlight chase. But acting found him, not the other way around. Sometimes talent doesn't chase destiny. Destiny chooses you.
He didn't ring the doorbell. He walked straight to the back patio. I watched through the blinds as he pressed his face against the glass, scanning for motion. Then he pulled a silver pistol. Click, it wasn't a gun, it was a mechanical lockpick. The lock turned, the door slid open. He stared right at my hiding spot and smiled. He didn't steal a thing, but the police found a small white X drawn on my doorframe.
This man takes a tool with small metal pins on the bottom and carefully places it over the queen bee. After that, he carefully marks her with a special blue pen to keep her completely calm and make her much more visible. Beekeepers usually use a few simple standard colors, and each color shows the year the queen was added to the hive. Only those who understood should click like.
This guy is about to run into something unexpected. As he is going down a mountain bike trail, he runs into a massive bull.
Holy!
How would you have reacted? People are angry at this guy after pulling off a completely legal move on his opponent, because during their match, he was able to get him into a buggy choke, which is nearly impossible to escape from. But people are mad at him because he didn't let go after his opponent tapped, leading to this.
When you're digging and you stumble upon something yellowish, don't make the mistake of thinking it's just mud and leaving it behind. Look, when this lucky guy spots that strange object, he scoops it into a bowl and heads to the river. He carefully rinses and squeezes it, and after a thorough cleaning, he discovers thousands of tiny gold pieces.
Watch this barber transform this boy's hair, because when she was cutting his eyebrows at the start of the video, everything seemed normal at first. But then she started moving up to his hair. She began analyzing it, blow-drying it, and eventually cutting it all in the right places, slowly transforming his entire look. But right at the end, she gave him a surprise he'll never forget.
This woman is fast asleep when suddenly a large hole appears in the center of her bed. Her eyes widen and her body lets out a scream, but the octopus has already reached the edges of her bed. Meanwhile, something else catches her attention. A small fish moving quickly in the hole. She reaches her hand into the hole and tries to catch the fish. Her first attempt is unsuccessful, but the second time she catches her prey. However, only 6 people liked the video of this fearless woman.
That is why you should never go rollerblading with a horse, otherwise the same thing could happen to you as it did to her. At the beginning, everything goes perfectly well and is even fun, but suddenly the horse gets faster and faster because it tries to turn. She thinks it's going back home, so she accelerates as well to keep up, but then the horse takes a quick shortcut and gets ahead of her, leaving her a bit behind as if to say, no chance I'm losing to you. Only those who understood should click like.
If you try to join these 2 half circles without thinking, you'll notice the top part doesn't match up. But if you start by aligning the top first, the spiral pattern won't line up anymore. This is where reverse thinking comes in. Use your imagination. Hook the right ring.
She had no idea someone was stalking her in the parking lot until things took an unsettling turn. Because as she starts to fix her hair in the mirror, she noticed that her windshield wipers were up and was confused because they weren't up when she went in the store. And that's when she finally realized the disturbing truth, that someone was trying to bait her into going outside to fix them, so they had an opportunity to kidnap her. Now fearing for her life, she drives off. But that's when she captured something horrifying.
This hand is LeBron James, and you'll be surprised by the last one, as this place lets you match your hand size to some of the greatest basketball players in the world. After each hand, they get bigger and bigger, with the last one being Kawhi Leonard's. And let's be honest, his girl is definitely the happiest one of all. This girl is taking on a tough climbing challenge that consists of 9 levels, each one harder than the last. She breezes through red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and navy. But now it starts getting tricky as the wall leaves her with almost no space to move, and she's doing everything she can to avoid falling. She pushes through and reaches Gray the final step, and with all her strength, she finishes the challenge. Could you do it? He's about to perform a move that qualified him for the championship, as he went from 10th to 5th place in a second. This move was inspired by a video game, but was unfortunately later banned by NASCAR. How would you react if you went to the grocery store and ran into this?
This is how how the brain is tricked. This illusion reveals the vulnerability of our senses. The doctor places a fake hand in front of this man. Right next to his real hand, he begins by stroking both hands simultaneously with a ruler and then slowly moves only to the fake hand. But the man still feels it in his real hand. Then the doctor taps the fake hand with a small hammer, and the man feels the pain of every strike in his real fingers. Only those who understood should click like.
Did you know one superhero was actually played by 5 people? Colossus wasn't brought to life by a single actor. It took a whole team, a face actor, a body actor, a voice actor, a stunt performer, and a motion capture expert, all working together to create one steel-skinned mutant. Turns out teamwork really does make the superhero. Follow for more insane CGI secrets.
This guy has perfected his takedowns as he practices the same move every day for hours. He uses this dummy to train and his takedown power is insane. And if you think he can only do this to dummies, you would be mistaken, as this is what he looks like wrestling another fighter. Ever wanted to try real-life Mario Kart? This is mountain kart racing. The goal is to race downhill, controlling your speed, since these karts don't have motors, and one wrong move will cost you the race. You can even make your own shortcuts to dodge the chaos and get ahead. The first one to the bottom wins. Would you try it?
Tahukah kamu, di Jepang ada hukum unik yang bikin perusahaan snack nggak bisa menipumu. Karena setiap gambar di kemasan snack, dari bentuk, ukuran, sampai penampilannya, harus persis sama kayak produk aslinya. Dan kalau ada yang berani melanggarnya, perusahaan itu akan kena masalah hukum serius. Ajib banget kan negara asal si kakek legendaris ini?
Manapun pria ini pergi, pasti ada saja barang yang hilang. Kadang, satu karung semen dari proyek bangunan. Dan di hari lain, dia mencuri besi dari toko ayahnya sendiri. Melihat itu, teman-temannya mengira dia sudah gila. Dan kebingungan apa yang sebenarnya dia lakukan. Tapi, selang beberapa hari, barulah mereka tahu apa yang sebenarnya terjadi. Ternyata, dia membangun sebuah rumah mewah dari hasil jarahan kecilnya itu.
This is proof of why choosing the right coach is the most important thing. When this boxer was practicing his swings, he realized he had been using the wrong technique his entire career.
This is my normal hit.
But just watch what happens the moment he switches to southpaw.
Southpaw.
Rotate it 180 degrees clockwise around the post, and you'll separate them. Then there's the metal twist puzzle, made by twisting 4 equal metal rods together. If you twist them all in the same direction, no matter how hard you try, they'll loosen when you let go. This tests a child's reverse thinking again. A smart approach is to first twist 3 rods together until the gaps close, then insert.
This skinny guy is about to blow your mind, as you may think he is about to bench press 220 pounds, but is actually going to perform forearm curls, making it look effortless. He's known as a Kimbo due to his insanely massive and strong arms, and he has been going viral for humbling bodybuilders with inflated muscles, proving huge muscles doesn't equal strength. But could you beat him in an arm wrestling match? This guy does street art that reminds people to live in the moment and not to let their inner child be forgotten. He does this by placing simple signs that remind people to love each other and share a moment. But having fun is also important, so he sets up small games for people to enjoy and let their inner child play.
At 70, he still risks his own life without using a stuntman. Despite being at the peak of fame and money, Jackie Chan never lost his childlike mercy. He never gave up making his fans laugh despite so many broken bones and wounds. He is one of the greatest legends of cinema history because
this woman disrespected her opponent, but what she doesn't know is she was up against a 3-time world champion in jiu-jitsu and is about to learn why you don't play dirty. Thinking she could easily overpower her, she pulled her in trying to get a hold of her, but this was her biggest mistake, as she fell for the trap, getting put into a triangle choke with no escape. Once the match was over, she started complaining to the ref, unable to accept defeat. This is the terrifying moment this skier fell into an ice cave and thought it was all over. And don't worry, he was able to call for a rescue, making it out safely.
Look at this unusual invention. After years of loneliness and failing to find a partner, this man created a machine that gives him hugs even using a lifeless tree. At first it seems quirky, maybe even a little sad, but also strangely heartwarming. And when the machine finally wraps around him and actually works, the moment is pure comfort.
As this kid gets slammed onto the mat, he loses his fight. But once he gets to the car, his dad lets him know he has his back. And with a big smile, he knew this was going to be true. So keeping to his word, he did exactly what he said he was going to do, defeating the other kid's dad with the same move that ended their son's match. Do you think he is the coolest dad?
Did you know one of Hollywood's biggest stars almost never made it? Before WWE success, before Hollywood fame, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was broke after being cut from a Canadian football team in 1995. He literally had just $7 in his pocket. No deals, no spotlight. That moment didn't break him. It ignited the hunger that built a legend.
Look, when this woman removed the parquet floor in her home, she discovered a secret compartment into space. Her excited husband accidentally pushed her down. As she floats through the vacuum of space, we see her heading towards Earth. The man ran outside and looked up into the sky to realize that his wife was falling towards Earth. Still, no one liked this exciting video.
Run! Don't fall! We can't lose the game! Come on! It looks safe here. I'll stay here.
Girl, run fast or you'll fall.
Oh, Mom, I'm not falling. Mom, help me!
My daughter is out of the game. Girl, look, I'm going to win.
Whoa, Mom! You win! We deserve a like!
You couldn't keep up even if you wanted to, as he's about to set the world record for jump rope, jumping 288 times in just 30 seconds, and his speed is unbelievable. Advice changed my life. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is believing that love is finding the right person. In reality, love is about becoming the right person. Don't go looking for the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. Become the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. The people who deserve you will naturally gravitate towards you. This is the reason why everyone hates bikers.
People say this is an extraordinary, against-nature visual puzzle. In the video, you see a triangular frame with 8 red beans along the left side, 8 along the right, and 8 along the bottom. Now 3 extra beans must be added.
Ketika ibunya mau masuk kamar, gadis ini langsung pura-pura kerja. Padahal tadinya main HP. Melihat itu, ibunya tersenyum bangga. Bahkan, biar nggak capek mijetin bapaknya, dia bikin robot pijat untuknya. Dan membuat ibunya makin kagum padanya.
Her coach has to hold on to her while running as she's going to pass out. She's performing a VO2 test which records her body's maximum oxygen usage during an intense exercise. Her body will give out as it's pushed to its limits. This helps fine-tune her training to get as much as possible out of her body without overdoing it. How long would you last? This isn't your average motorcycle, as this guy made his own custom tricycle drag bike built for speed. And with 800 horsepower, it can reach 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds. Would you ride this bike?
Look, this guy is really smart. He drops $5 into one of those easy money machines to test his luck. It looks simple, but it's actually kind of a scam. Almost nobody manages to grab even a single bill. But what the machine doesn't know, he's about to use a secret technique. And just watch this. He ends up walking away with over 2,000 euros in cash.
Ketika cewek ini bikin bayangan tangannya menjadi anak kucing lucu, semua orang langsung memberi pujian. Tapi tiba-tiba temennya datang dan nggak mau kalah dan langsung bikin versi sendiri yang katanya lebih bagus. Burung unta, dia bilang. Masalahnya, bentuknya malah aneh banget. Mendengar itu, si cewek malah berkata, "Iya sih, jelek banget kayak kamu." Dan nggak ada yang ngasih mereka like.
You should always tap out when a jiu-jitsu fighter gets a hold of your leg. This gym gave its fighters wooden baseball bats to see who could break it with their bare hands. Some tried with all their strength but were unsuccessful. And don't think you can hold out, as these bats are as strong as your leg bones and can easily be snapped like a twig.
His name is Miguel, but fans call him the Goal Goblin because he turns even the smallest gaps into goals. His reactions are absolutely crazy. He reads defenders like an open book and always finds a clever way to score a goal. Watching him play feels truly special. Only those who understood should click like.
This woman is about to break 15 concrete blocks, and to get enough power, she lets out her war cry. And if we look in the back, we can tell who tried this first.
This girl fell off the tube, she tried to catch it, but she eventually slid down through the hole. Her mother said she wasn't scared at all because she is a good swimmer and knew that her father was waiting for her at the bottom.
This guy built the thinnest car ever, but it's really dangerous because even though it's fully street legal and drives like a regular car, every time he turns, it looks like he's going to tip over. But it's actually not that hard to control, and when it's on the road, it looks like a toy car.
Someone tries to kill a spider by stepping on it, many don't realize that hundreds of tiny spiders can end up on the floor and spread around the area, which can be prevented by using a box. This happens because the spider carries an egg sac behind her shortly before giving birth. So if you see them in the house, you should catch them in a box to take them outside. Only those who understood should click like.
This guy had a genius plan for Halloween. He dressed up as a twister board, but this costume has an even bigger twist because every time you spin, it always lands on red.
Perhatian, pria ini baru saja melakukan kesalahan besar. Dia masuk ke dapur dan langsung memeluk pacarnya. Tapi, ekspresi ceweknya ternyata sangat kaget. Beberapa saat kemudian, ada cewek lain yang masuk. Dan ternyata, keduanya adalah kembar. Pria itu langsung panik dan malu setengah mati. Dia baru sadar kalau ternyata pacarnya punya kembaran. Tapi untungnya, pacarnya yang asli nggak lihat kejadian tadi. Kalau iya, bisa-bisa dia akan masuk UGD saat itu juga.
This guy has been going viral for his incredible talent because he has mastered the age-old tradition of stone carving. This art requires immense precision and attention to detail. By using different chisel bits, he is able to produce unreal pieces that deserve to be displayed in a museum. One of his creations sits at the top of one of the world's largest Gothic cathedrals. This is why Rome wasn't built in a day, as some of these pieces take weeks to make. This coach has one of the weirdest training methods ever, because after each training session, he has everyone line up on their backs so he can stomp on their stomachs. This is supposed to condition their core and train them to soften the blow, so they are able to handle getting struck during a real match. But do you think his training is effective or just ridiculous? This is why proper breathing is necessary when performing a difficult lift, as when this woman was trying to beat her PR, this happened. This guy makes three-dimensional art that adds a sense of life to his paintings. He does this by incorporating the frame and surroundings, depending on what the people in his art are doing. Like splitting the frame in two, creating a ledge, breaking the glass for a punch, burning the canvas, and using a corner to add depth. This is the type of creativity modern art needs.
Na festa do fim de semana, só rolê bom. Ela chega e desencana com passo bem solto, passo bem solto, passo bem solto. Na festa do fim de semana.
This little boy started watching her dance closely. Because when she was just dancing at the start of the video, everything looked fine. But then he wanted to copy her dance and started watching her very closely, trying to recreate every move she was doing. And that's when things got interesting. Just watch.
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it, shake that healthy butt. Baby got butts and I cannot lie. You other brother.
Pembeli ini tiba-tiba kabur tanpa membayar minumannya. Tapi dia tidak tahu kalau pemilik kafe ternyata bisa menghentikan waktu. Yap, semua orang di kafe seketika berhenti bergerak. Dan dengan santai dia berjalan mengejar si pencuri sambil minum dan makan pesanan dari pelanggan lain. Ketika dia sampai di belakang si pencuri, dia memutuskan mengambil sesuatu dari si pencuri sebagai ganti untuk minumannya. Komen hati kalau menurut kamu ini adil.
This guy got a taste of his own medicine as he goes around bodybuilding shows bumping into people pretending to be massive. This leaves people in shock, not being able to believe what just happened, but he is easily recognized now, so bodybuilders are getting their payback for the pain he has caused. Even the cops aren't going to help him.
This trainee pilot forgot one critical checklist step before takeoff, making sure the fairing lock was secure. Sadly, it wasn't. She took off not realizing it could swing open anytime. At first, everything seemed fine, but during a right turn, it suddenly burst open. Poor visibility, hard breathing, yet she stayed calm and managed to turn back for a safe landing. And all this just because...
No way, brother, this ice cream is mine. But here,
Are you kidding me? There's nothing in this. That's not funny. Watch how I'm gonna fool her with this one. But wait, how many years of life do you want your mom alive? 24 hours. Ignore. 200 years. Leave a like. 500 years. Comment a heart emoji. 1,000 years. Subscribe and share. Forever. Do everything. Okay, sister, let's trade. You get mine, I get yours.
Wow. All right, brother. Deal. Here you go.
Yes, success. Got you back.
Bye-bye. Wow, he's so silly to trade this. Wait, what? No, this isn't real.
Wanita ini melakukan kesalahan besar saat dia memesan pangsit segede gaban karena dia kira isinya pasti daging cincang penuh. Tapi begitu bagian atasnya dipotong, isinya cuma pangsit kecil-kecil. Gak cuman itu, saat pelayan lain datang bawa alat tumbuk raksasa, ternyata dia hanya naburin lada dikit banget. Dan meskipun dia sadar wanita itu merasa kecewa, tapi pelayan itu gak peduli dan gak ada yang ngasih mereka like. Dia ini selalu memakan semua makhluk laut yang dia temui. Dia menangkapnya hanya dengan tangan kosong. Kadang ia masukin ke dalam supnya, dan kadang langsung melahapnya di tempat. Bahkan dia berhasil menangkap udang mantis, makhluk dengan cengkeraman terkuat di dunia. Tangannya kena capek, tapi bukannya biarin pergi, dia malah balas dendam dan melemparkannya ke dalam supnya. Anehnya, ada satu jenis ikan yang pantang dia makan.
Did you know Selena Gomez is way more than a singer and actress? Selena Gomez is also a producer, fashion icon, and full-on businesswoman. From clothing lines, to perfumes, to hit TV shows behind the scenes, she's built an entire empire. And somehow, she's still grounded, still humble. Talent, brains, and heart in one package. Honestly, that's a rare combo.
This slide looks impossible to climb, but that's not stopping anyone at this festival. Contestants are lining up to grab the flag at the top, but the grease makes it nearly impossible. Every attempt ends in failure, but with each try, the slide gets less slippery. Then one guy takes the longest run up you've ever seen and pulls off the impossible. Think you could win this challenge?